We in your city. We going, turn, we going select. Get with me. We in your city.
Hey, what up, y'all? Man, back on the set, man, trying to hopefully our internet stay on today and we get to finish this show. But other than that, how y'all doing today, man? Welcome back to another episode, The Real Mojo Point of View and Sports Reviews, the podcast edition. Man, so yesterday I was looking at I was checking out ESPN, and they was showing they was asking the question, did the stock rise for any quarterbacks, you know? And I believe Mac Jones' stock rose a lot, you know, at his pro day. And well, I don't even think you need the pro day to really see how, you know, that how important he is to the team, and you know that he's should be the number 2 quarterback drafted. My thing is he didn't really have too many bad games at Alabama, you know, because for a quarterback, what you want to do is you want to see how quick they process information, how quick they make the reads, and you know, if they can get the ball to where it needs to go. Yesterday, all everybody was talking about was Justin Fields running a 4.4. I don't really know how important that is. You know, it don't really make a difference if you run a 4.4, a 4.6, you know, a 5 flat. Quarterback can run a 5 flat or worse and still, you know, be able to get the job done, still be the number 1 pick and live up to the hype. You know, there's a quarterback that was pick 199. He looked like a tech guy on the day of the draft. He was running his 40 and he was like flailing side to side. Now he got 7 Super Bowl rings, you know? So that I don't believe that 40 and all that stuff mean nothing. Even when they're throwing in their pro days. Because for one, they throw into receivers that they've been around since they got there. They throw into receivers who's not being covered. They're throwing without any pressure on them. So they just say roll out to the left, roll out to the right, 5-step, 7-step, 3-step drop. Throw a quick slant, throw a deep out. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it don't really mean nothing to me, because you don't got Jadeveon Clowney chasing you. You don't got J.J. Watt chasing you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you're under pressure by those dudes, then you got to read the defense. You got to check the coverage. You might have to check down to your tight end or your running back. Or you might have to run. You might have to pull it down, find the opening, and make it happen. So that's the reason why, like, a pro day don't really mean much to me for a quarterback. I believe it's only really important for dudes that is maybe, first of all, not invited to the draft, not invited to the combine. Sorry, not the draft. Not invited to the combine. And then scouts might want to see the guy run or lift or whatever. But mainly, they just want to see him run like a receiver or a DB. They want to see him run if he can run the route tree, if he's quick out of his breaks, if he catch the ball with his hands or his body, if he looked the ball all the way in, if his concentration is good. And then for DBs, Can he stop on a dime, cut left, cut right, stop, break on the ball, stuff like that. And that's probably also for linebackers a little bit too. That's probably for linebackers also. But for quarterbacks, it's mainly a mental thing. You just want to interview those guys, make sure they can get the information processed in, I'll say, a second and a half to 3 seconds, because that's all they really got in the pocket. And being a young guy, like a rookie, they're probably gonna have less because coaches, defensive coordinators is gonna be trying to trick them, disguise coverage, high blitzes, put more pressure on them. So it's a thing where being a young quarterback, you might not ever get to use your 4.4, your 4.6, or whatever, but you definitely gonna get to use your arm, your eyes, and your brain. The quickest move you got to make is maybe on a 5 or 7 step drop. You may have to step up in the pocket 2 or 3 steps, to avoid pressure on the outside. Pressure comes the middle. You may have to move to the left or right, step up, but the whole while you still got to be looking downfield for the receiver, the tight end, or the running back. And you got to be looking also for the underneath defenders. So if you're going to your tight end, you got to be looking for the linebackers underneath. The safeties coming up. It's so much that they got to process. It's so much more than a quarterback running a 40. If you Michael Vick and you say you was in practice one day and you ran a 4.3, a low 4.3, and you probably want to get a 4.3 even or a 4.29, which he did, then yeah, you can run. You can run. Lamar Jackson, you can run. But other than that 40 is not important unless they are definitely talking to you about switching your position. And in that case, the 40 wouldn't be important either. You want to get on the wide receiver side and start running some routes, So that in itself would be cause for pause on running a 40 as a quarterback. That won't even that probably wouldn't even cross your mind to work out as a quarterback if teams are definitely talking about changing your position. That wouldn't even be important to you. So for me, just for me, I don't know how everybody else would feel about it. A pro day for a quarterback is not that important. It is not that necessary. Like I said, if scouts want to see you really throw the ball, really like gun it down the field. If they want to see, maybe if they're looking for at your throwing motion, if you got like a funny throwing motion or something like that, something like that. But I don't feel like it's necessary to have a quarterback out there just like going crazy, running, lift, like all that crazy stuff. And he probably won't do a lot of lifting and all that in the pro day, but don't tear your hamstring, because pretty soon you got to start going to meet with teams, working out for a handful of teams that's thinking about drafting you, especially in Justin Fields' Was other Mac Jones and Luke Wilson in their case. You know what I'm saying? In a case like that where you're probably going to be a top 5 and you don't know which team, so you're probably gonna go work out for 3 or 4 teams and go sit down interview. So you don't want to tear a hamstring or tweak. You don't want to tweak nothing at a pro day that you're gonna have to use in about 3 or 4 weeks talking to some teams, because you don't want to spend your time rehabbing. You don't want to spend the next month or so rehabbing. You want to be working on, if you got a bad throwing motion, if you got a high release point, you want to be working on those things, those small technical things, to get yourself prepared for the next level, because the next level is way different. So you want to get yourself prepared for those, and you don't want to be rehabbing an injury. So that's like a take on that. But man, I did that. I did the moving on. I did a NCAA bracket. I don't know. Well, I can tell you how mine is looking. It's not looking. Ripped it up, threw it away. Right? Ripped it up, threw it away. How is your bracket looking right now? Because mine's looking like trash. Mine's looking like trash, man. And then I knew, like, after the first couple days of the tournament, I was like, well, this is gonna be trash. So I had like a saving grace. I was like, man, if Michigan and Villanova can get to the championship, I try to pick a score and everything. I picked a score, and I was like, if they can get to the championship, that would salvage some of it, right? Man, Michigan lost last night to a 11 seed, UCLA. Now, nothing against UCLA, but come on, Michigan. Like, are y'all serious? Y'all can't be serious, man. So that's my whole championship is done. And I had Gonzaga, Michigan, Villanova, Illinois in the Final Four. So Villanova, Illinois, and Michigan's gone. So I tried to save it. I tried to save myself, but yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That didn't happen. How's everybody? How y'all brackets out there looking, man? I need some comments. And you can't tell me that you got that bracket looking good right now, because they said it's like 0.00002. I think 0.00002 chance that you got this. Well, there is this this Final Four is set somewhere, but only like 20 people out of like a few million got this Final Four, man. It's crazy. But that's a good thing though, because and then along the way too, like Oral Roberts was winning, like teams was getting knocked out of the, like teams was getting lower seeds was winning, and so now, like nowadays, I'm feeling like the low seeds don't really fear the higher seeds no more. I feel like the lower seeds don't have that oh man, we about to go play Virginia or something like that. I feel like the lower seeds is just like, yeah, Virginia about to play us. And the thing is too, it's a neutral site. So the fans, whatever's in the crowd, in the audience this year, just this year, but I feel like whatever's out there is like, they're like, well, this is split. And then a lot of the people is not there for neither team. A lot of the people that's there in the tournament setting is there for the game after. You just got to move down a level. Probably this year everybody just stayed put. But those smaller teams, those 12, 13, 14, 15 seeded teams, dude, they don't care about no 11. They don't care about no Michigan, no Virginia and all that. They could care less. Those lower ranked teams is like, yo, let's go. Let's get out here and let's go. And they doing a good job too, man. Like, because like I was saying before, even the lower seeds that lost on a lot of those games, they was only losing by like 6 or 7 points. So, and I seen a couple lost by like 4-1. So it was some games out there that just proved that the tide's turning a little bit. And then this goes back to like Master P's son. I talked about that a little bit. Master P's son, Hersey Miller, he chose Tennessee State. So now imagine if 6 or 7, imagine if 3, 4, or 5 of the top 100s. Imagine like 4 of them, like a couple groups of 4 of them go to HBCUs. Do you know how that's going to change the landscape of college basketball? I will guarantee you, if that were to start happening, right, they would allow the NCAA to start paying these kids. I can almost guarantee it. Just because they want the UCLA's, like this right here is about to be huge for UCLA. UCLA in the Final Four for the first time since Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love back in 2008. Do you know how huge this is going to be as a recruiting tool for them? This is going to be crazy for UCLA. And now it's looking like Gonzaga just might finally win one of the them being a number 1 seed all these years, because they're playing in like a weaker conference, so they're not gonna get banged up too much playing in that conference. And then in the bracket, when the NCAA bracket comes along, they will be usually no less than a number 2 seed. They might, if they play some out of conference games, some real out of conference games, and not just like USC and stuff like that, Oregon maybe. Nah, they got to come play like Villanova and teams like that. Come play Villanova, North Carolina, something like that every once in a while, and really test your team, because every year just about you got a number 1 seed and you got 0 championships. You got 0 national championships. So them number 1 seeds really don't mean nothing, because through the regular season you didn't test your team. You might play Arizona here or there, which is not, nothing special. And then it's like they playing the same style of basketball. So if you playing the same style of basketball, but you got 3 or 4 athletes on your team that's way above theirs, then of course you're gonna get the W on them nights. And then sometimes I'll stay up and watch those games just so I can see. Because, like, first of all, they're undefeated, right? So that tells you right there. even though it's a pandemic year, they stuck to that schedule. They stuck to that time zone. That's the thing. You got to come out to the other time zone and play. Like, go down and play Illinois. Go over there and play Michigan. You know what I'm saying? And then you skate through the tournament because the other higher seeds losing. So how is that working for you? You know, it worked out good for you this time. You know, and the people that actually people that actually picked Villanova. I mean, not Villanova. I'm sorry, that picked Gonzaga. Like, you know, you. This is like the year you hear all the Gonzaga people talking, because usually they don't be there by now. You know what I'm saying? Usually they're already done. So now they can say, you know, they can walk around beating their chest a little bit. You know, their fans are so happy, which is, that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, like, you know, they don't really test their skill level, you know, because I feel like if they would have played a team like Oral Roberts or something like that in the first round, but that would have been their third round game, whatever. But yeah, you know, like a lot of those teams, I feel like would have took them to the wire, just because they don't see. Now they're a good team, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying they don't see tough teams like that. They don't see, like, look at the ACC, North Carolina, Virginia, Syracuse, Duke, NC State. That's every night. Wake Forest. That's every night. Now Houston's there, and I believe UConn is in their division now, or maybe UConn. No, because UConn didn't stay in the Big East. So stuff like that, and you know, Syracuse in the ACC, they made the tournament. It's a lot different when you play like huge quality opponents, because, and then you got to think about it too. Gonzaga, they haven't even been on the scene for like 15, 20 years, like Syracuse and UConn and Georgetown and things like that. They just came on the scene maybe 10 years ago when Adam Morrison was playing. That was their first like um time really like busting on the scene. You know what I'm saying? That was their first time really like busting on the scene. But you know, they're getting better. They get better. So you know, this is a growth period for them, and it's good. We're gonna see a different team winning. You know, that's always a good thing when you see a different champion. It's not the same team every year. It's not Duke, Kentucky every single year with the one and dones. Kansas, because you know the Final Four is usually the same. Final Four is usually the same. You know, you'll usually see Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, and then you know, and a lot of times Villanova will slide in there every few years. You know, so you know, this is good to me anyway. This is good. You got different faces there. You know, Houston and Baylor. That's going to be a huge game. I think the winner of Houston and Baylor will probably end up winning. I think whoever wins that game will probably end up winning, and that one is 5:14 start time on Saturday on CBS, and then UCLA Gonzaga is 8:34. You know, so I think that's going to be. I think it's a good Final Four. You know, It's a good Final Four. It's different. You know, it looks all the way different than what we used to seeing. You know, it looks all the way different. And congratulations to those teams, man, because this was one of those years where and I'm saying this year, going back to the NCAA tournament of last year. And that's what I mean when I say this year. This whole year been for those kids, man, like up in the air. The tournament last year, boom, got canceled. Because March Madness. So everything in March shut down. NCAA lost literally $1 billion. That's what the tournament is worth. $1 billion. That's what that's the total money generation for the tournament. $1 billion, right? And that $1 billion don't got nothing to do with nobody that plays. That $1 billion got nothing to do with one kid on one roster, right? Because the kids don't get paid. So the NCAA, even the coaches, that $1 billion has something to do with from coaches on up, men, women. All of that revenue that was lost. Then you count no fans at the games for the majority of this year, all the way up until probably February, right? Conference tournaments. Some of the states started a little earlier than late February, like early to mid-February, bringing fans back. But that was just, you know what? And I think it was just the conference tournaments. Just the conference tournaments had family there, because it was hard to watch a game with no fans, with like because you could see the kids not really getting excited. You know, they was just playing, going through the motions, and then some of them here and there was getting sick. Like the NCAA tournament, teams had to pull out. Teams had to forfeit the rest of their season due to getting sick. Due to some positive tests. So imagine if a like a trainer or a team doctor or something that's around the kids every day test positive, that whole team got to pull out of the tournament. Duke had to pull out of the ACC tournament, right? If I'm not mistaken. So imagine that, right? So the kids done did all this work. The mental strain of these last 365 days and I'm talking tournament teams and everybody, just from tournament to now. And then, so the players do what they got to do. And imagine a trainer or a team manager catch COVID and the whole team got to pull out because they're all together all day, every day. So now everybody got to pull out because of that. But the whole season, we was good. We was good the whole season. But now in the tournament, I gotta hang it up due to somebody that's not me catching COVID, or not even a teammate or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like and it's like that been in your mind all year. But all year don't really mean nothing because you'll live to see another day. But in the tournament, if you have to pull out the tournament out of your conference tournament, that means you don't got a chance to win it and go to the NCAA tournament. Then if you got to pull out of the NCAA tournament, you don't got a chance to win and go to the national championship. That's what the kids was dealing with all year. All year. You know, and you got, you know, and then that's why it's so cool to see those lower seeds winning. They was mentally strong. They followed the rules. Them and their program followed the rules, followed the protocols, and they did what they had to do, you know. So they was mature enough to do what they had to do. Discipline. They was disciplined enough to do what they had to do, right? So, and then these 4 teams lasted the longest. You know, they made it all the way to the Final Four, and they're trying to get these games like not have not have too much rest time between these games, because the more rest time you have, that's the more opportunity you got to go get infected, you know, get sick or whatever. You know, just going to the store. Somebody bring it, like even like the room, so you could catch it anyway. Like room service could bring you something. They could bring you blankets, pillows, or whatever. And then one of them got it. And then now you come up because you got to get the test every day. So you get your test every day and nobody been nowhere. So I didn't have it 3 days ago. I didn't have it 2 days ago, but now I just got it today and I haven't been nowhere since the game. So how's that work? You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much stuff they got to deal with and just worry about. So I just want to salute all those kids, men and women on the men and women side, coaches, staff, and all that for making it. But now they made it, right? So since they made it, we got to start talking about the game. You know, the games first. So that being said, who is your choice to win it all? We got Houston versus Baylor. And then we got UCLA versus overall number 1 seed Gonzaga. I mean, who do y'all got winning it all? I believe, like I said, I like the winner of Houston Baylor. Even though, you know, that's just a pick. And then with the way this tournament is going, we could see Houston and UCLA in the national championship game. You know what I'm saying? This could go anyway. This could go anyway. This is crazy. But I like the winner of Houston and Baylor to win it all. So drop comments and let me know who you got winning it all. Who's the confetti gonna be dropping on? Who's gonna be singing the one shining moment on Monday, next Monday night, or this Monday night coming? Because the game, the Final Four is gonna be on Saturday, and then championship game will be on Monday. And you can't even really do too much celebrating after the Final Four because you still got that one game to go. You still got the main game to go. So either way you look at it, it's pressure until the buzzer sounds on Monday. Then they can really let their hair down after that. You know what I'm saying? You know, after that, they can really let their hair They did a lot, man. They deserve it. They deserve to have some real fun, man. They deserve to have some real fun. Because like I said, they had a lot of mental strain going on. This year they had a lot of like just like added pressure other than basketball. You know what I'm saying? They had pressure way other than basketball. You know, um, more or less, they had like they had more pressure really than having a job and taking care of a family, man. Because they used to think about it. You used to them stadiums being packed with your family and your friends, right? And then everybody else that you see walking around campus every day, and you're on national TV. Now, this year that just passed, all you seen was your teammates, the other team, and the referees in the arena, and a bunch of cameras, because they can get every angle. Then um, you can get any camera angle you want, and that's why you hear a lot of stuff that's being said on the court. A lot of the referees talking and things like that. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like a one of those documentary things where you get to you can like the sounds of the game or whatever, like they had in the NFL. And you was hearing a lot of stuff in the NFL because there was nobody there. There was no noise, no yelling, no um, just like people going crazy. So that's why the Super Bowl was so lit. The Super Bowl was lit because people was out there. You know what I'm saying? People was out there. And some of them games, the playoffs, they had started testing people. I believe like on a Wednesday, and then test them again on Sunday morning before they could go into the playoff games in the NFL. And then what I'm hearing is now the start of this season, they expecting the the stadiums to be full capacity. And then for the next topic I want to jump into, I want to talk about there's going to be an extra game this year. So that means there's going to be, extra time onto the season. And I don't think a lot of the players is happy about that. A lot of players and coaches and things like that, I don't think they're happy about it. But the thing is, they want to up the money, um, the revenue, and the salaries for the players. So only way to do that is you got to add. It's only right. You have to add more weeks to the season. So, and I believe since '78, it's been a 16 game schedule. Sorry, 17 weeks. So now it's a 17 game schedule, 18 weeks. So that allows the salary cap, that allows the owners and GMs more room to play around with the salary cap. So, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing for them, especially if they want to get especially if they want to get like because the TV contract they have a huge TV contract. So now you can actually, because what happens in the NFL is, a team wins and then the rest of the league, they just come and take all their players, the free agents. So now they trying to do it so that it's more longevity with teams and all that. It's never going to be like Kobe played with the Lakers for 20 years. Um, it's never, you're not going to see nothing like that, just because of the injuries the shortened season and that's just the physicality of the game. But that's what they're trying to push for. So, that would be the reasoning behind it. And then, like I said, the salary cap, so the owners and GMs can do more as far as like Tampa Bay just kept every major player on a championship team. Brady takes the pay cuts every year, and there's no state tax. So they can get a little closer. They can mess around with the salary cap and the money a little bit different down in the state of Florida and where else? No state tax. I'm thinking Texas. So they can mess around with the cap a little bit different down there because you pay a dude $18 million, he's gonna get hit with tax. But down in Florida, you could pay him $16 million, and he probably make out with more money than the dude that made $18 million. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they throw more into the signing bonuses and stuff like that. It's find different ways to play around with it. But, how do y'all feel about the NFL adding a whole other game? Extending the season, extending the probability of a dude getting injured. So now you can pretty much say all the records that is, standing right now, like the passing, rushing, the sacks, and all that. Any statistical record in the next 20 years, I expect to see all of those go down. All of those go down. Because think about it. You got a kid like Justin Herbert already that just came out and just took the whole league by storm, right? So you got to know he got extra games. He's breaking all the passing records. And you might see like Justin Fields. So you might see Justin Herbert, Justin Fields. The quarterback from Clemson, I can't even think of his name right now. The number one pick in the draft, I can't think of his name. Mac Jones. Guys like that. They're about to break all these records that Drew Brees is killing himself to keep up with. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, all those records are going down, other than maybe the Super Bowl record. So Tom Brady's smart. He got one record that is probably never going to be broke. But all those passing yards and all those rushing yards and all that, all those records are gone because the guys are playing more games. So all those records are gone. Sack record. You give a dude like Chase Young like 20 extra games, 10 extra games on his career, he's killing that sack record. He's killing that sack record. And that's what I'm saying. You give a dude like Justin Herbert, 20 more games, 25 more games to and let's just say them games he's getting like anywhere from 250 to 350 yards or more. Passing record is done. By the time he retires, it's going to be his. It's going to be his. So it's like, what do you do? But that's how it is, though. Things change all the time. So, But yeah, man, that's my time, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. The internet held up. The Wi-Fi held strong. You know what I'm saying? We got it done. We got it done. We knocked it out the park, man, as usual. Everybody drop comments below. Yeah, we got it. There's gonna be a giveaway coming up. I gotta sit down and get the dates together, get the prizes together. I don't know if it's gonna be a subscriber count, like when it hit like 4,000 subscribers or what, but or if I might just give a date like like May 1st or whatever, and then what the prize is gonna be. But it's definitely gonna be a giveaway coming up. So everybody stay tuned for that, and it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be more than one. It's probably gonna be like 2 or 3, So it's gonna be dope. So y'all just keep looking out for that. Giveaway. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Share it. Throw me some thumbs up emojis in the comment section. Drop the comments who you think gonna win the national championship. Let me know, man. Just stay in tune. Stay tuned because everything's coming up, man. It's about to get live, man. All right, y'all. Be good.